So this video probably isn't going to be seen by that many people. I'm going into this not knowing how many people are going to find this video or how far the algorithm's going to push it out. But if just one person comes across this video and benefits from it, then I will feel as though I did my job. So of course, I don't know what your story is. I don't know where you're at in life or what struggles you might be facing. But most likely it's either related to money, or maybe it's related to a relationship, or maybe you don't feel confident about who you are. Maybe it's like you're not in the best shape or whatever the case is. But the message that I want to put out there is no matter how down you're feeling, you have value to offer the world. And one thing that I've seen with a lot of people, more now than ever before, is I see, I've had, friends of mine that I knew back in like middle school or high school. I had, one person that was posting on social media saying that he was going to like end his life or something like that because of how down or something he was feeling, right? So I, messaged him and I said like, hey, don't do anything. Like just reach out to someone if you need help, reach out to a professional. That's one of the first things that you should do. But I believe that the best thing that you can do overall is to always focus on self-improvement more than anything else, right? So if you're struggling in terms of, money, for example, and your job is stressing you out, or you feel like the economy's in really bad shape, then the one thing that you can always do is you could always make more money, right? You might have gone through a really tough time in terms of like a relationship. Maybe you are in a really like toxic relationship and you're feeling really bad. You could always find someone else. You could always work on either your communication skills, or you could always focus on, being in better shape. There's always room for improvement in one of those areas. And so the one thing that I've noticed with a lot of people who are depressed often at times is there's very little motivation to do anything, right? Usually that comes from just feeling defeated overall, and you feel like nothing in life is really worth it, which I can understand that to an extent. However, always remember that you will have much more energy and motivation to continue improving when you're already on that, side of momentum, right? So maybe you went through a phase where your account went in the red and you feel super stressed out because you got all these bills coming up, right? But understand that is only a temporary phase that you go through, right? You can get fired from your job, you can get laid off for whatever reason. Maybe something happened at work where you were let go, but there is always that next stepping stone where you can get that next job. That's if you're really trying hard enough, or you could always learn something in terms of, learn another way of making money online. Whether you decide to do content creation or you figure out a way to make money with AI, then I believe that is really the first step is, of course, get that next position. And from there, then, things can progress if you're always focusing on improving that specific area. So from what I see, like most problems are like money related, 90% of them. So I believe if you focus on improving, that area every single day, you're learning something new, you're investing your free time into learning a skill that you can, profit with, then that is of course something that you could do. Otherwise, anything else, in terms of relationships, you can always find that next person and you could always improve that area. So that is really the message I want to put out in this video. Of course, if you're like really going through something, like some really like deep stuff, then I recommend speaking with a professional first. But I believe that overall that self-improvement is the overall best form of therapy more than anything else. So if you are in a funk, or you're in like a low phase in your life, then always remember that, and always remember that there is light at the end of the tunnel if you believe it and you choose to hold it, and you choose to have faith towards that. So in my case, I went through a phase where I had to, my business was going really well at one point. I was living on my own, and then I my rent started to go up dramatically. I wasn't making as much money from the business because I had social media accounts that got banned out of nowhere, and I wasn't getting as many sales. And then I had to move back in temporarily. I had to go back to a 9-to-5 job. And when I initially moved back in, I felt like a total loser. I'm like, man, like, I feel really defeated at this point. I didn't have much motivation to do anything else, but I kind of just had to suck it up. I went back to a regular 9-to-5. I started getting back into the online business, and I started learning more ways of how to market online, you know, in terms of the making money space. But eventually I was able to move out again. And from that point on, then I've been in a much better place overall. But I did have a lot of really negative thoughts when I initially had to move back in, because I just felt like a loser overall. I'm like, man, like, yeah. So that was the experience that I wanted to talk about. Feel free to let me know your thoughts down below. Feel free to let me know about your story, what you're going through. Otherwise, if you found this video helpful in any way, then feel free to give this a thumbs up. And if you want to check out some of the other videos that I have on this channel, I mainly talk about like corporate America and alternative ways of making money online, and just kind of, I guess you could say this channel is more of like how I'm navigating the modern life as a young American right now. So if you resonate with me in any way, or if you you know, find what I mentioned relatable, then feel free to check out some of the other videos. And I appreciate you tuning in and investing your time here. So that being said, take care and see you in the next one.